Hey guys, it's Red here. Got a new camera, new camcorder, new editing software, same lame host. But, fresh game to bite into. And this is Castlevania Circle of the Moon. Hey guys, do you like Castlevania? Do you like Metroid? Well, I do. And that's what we have here today. I really can't call foul because Konami has been using this same Metroid setup since the PS1 days. It's kinda odd to play a Castlevania with that kind of design, but it's also really familiar, and I think that's what made the game so easy to pick up and play. First, let's talk about the audio. Because it's a Game Boy Advance title, the sound itself you would think would suffer because of the limitations of the system. But, on the positive, it is in fact a Castlevania game, which means kick-ass soundtrack. The voiceover is a bit bland, but that's to be expected. You know, system limitations and all. And last, down to the monsters. Standard enemies in the game make no sound except when dead. The bosses also very lackluster, little noise at all. Their attacks have sound effects, and Cerberus, I remember, went brrr. That was about it, and that kind of bummed me out. I'd think they'd have a little bit more going. But I digress. That's pretty sad. I wish the sound had been a lot better. Hell, if it weren't for the soundtrack, I'd say the audio was a complete bust. But because of the soundtrack, I give it a 3 out of 5. Next up, graphics. And they are awesome. For a Game Boy Advance title at least. Fluid moving backgrounds, solid monster animations, and neat, sometimes downright funny DDS card animations. The graphics are nothing to sneeze at here. There are a few gripes I have, and, you know, that's fine and all, but that's mostly because of the system limitations again. I'm going to say that a lot, but the system is really limited system. I mean, there's only so much you can do with it. That shouldn't detract from the effort that was clearly put into this title, though. 4 out of 5. Gameplay. Was it worth the $10 I put into it? Hell yeah. I'm not going to say the game is the pinnacle of Castlevania games, but the leveling systems and the Metroid-style layout are definitely marks in the positive. But the lack of a story really does hurt it. But for what it lacks in story, it definitely makes up for in replayability. Every time you complete the game, you unlock a new playable mode, starting in at Vampire Killer and finishing up at Thief. Now, with every new playable mode comes a new set of challenges. At first, I thought the Magician mode would be a walk in the park, and all the DS cards from the start, how I'd be invincible. I could do no wrong. Boy, was I fucking wrong. Holy hell. The game was really hard to adapt to at first, but it prepared me pretty well for the modes that followed. Warrior mode is also an adjustment. All the strength and defense you need, no DS cards, DDS cards, and your luck was straight in the crapper. But it made getting through the battle arena really, really easy. The shooter mode was wrong. Just fucking wrong. You have cards again, you have to find them though, and you're the weakest little shit in the game, period. And I know, it's supposed to be made up for in the sub-weapons. They do more damage, half the cost of hearts, and you have access to the magic dagger. But is it really worth it? No, it's not. However, it does lead into Thief mode, which I have to admit was a whole lot of fun. Not really worth the shooter mode, but still, it was there. And if there were things you missed in the other modes, such as the Sage Robe, the Unicorn, or the Black Dog cards, or the Black Armor, or the Dark Armor, I'm sorry, you should have no problem getting them in this mode. And being able to farm for Mind Highs and Potion X makes the battle arena a cakewalk. Final score, 4 out of 5. It's a really neat game, and you can tell the people who worked on it were really, really into it and really wanted to put something out that was cool. It's not perfect, but if you're a Castlevania fan, it's definitely a must-have. Thanks a lot, guys, and the next time I do one of these, it's going to be Final Fantasy 1. But here's the catch. You guys get to pick the version. The original NES version, the PS1 Origins, Game Boy Dawn of Souls, or the PSP 20th Anniversary Edition. Thanks a lot, guys, and I'll be back next month with another Red Reviews. I hope you'll be here.